Hello everybody, First Month is here. Finally, with some test video. It is about this Kizlyar Supreme City Hunter knife. I just remind you very fast, very quickly, for the size of the knife. This is the folder, 0 tolerance, 620. You can see the how thick it is, 3.4 millimeters, very close to the... So, as you can see, these knives are generally in the same size, I mean the overall size, just this one has slightly shorter blade and longer handle, and this is vice versa. It is a little bit over 4 inches real edge, or 11 centimeters the blade, or 10.5 centimeters the real cutting edge. So very fine tip. Before I start, I just, if you remember when I did the at home video, as I say, there was this attaching to the standard sheet, and this is the attaching system. It was like this one, and of course attached to the sheath itself. The problem was there. This one is very tough. So if you want to like pull it off out of this, groove, I would say. So it takes, some power, and if you do it in this way, it's no problem. But when you need to take it off, then it starts to be kind of annoying. I don't say you can't do it, of course, because it's made for that, but it's really impractical. On the other hand, it's quite tough. So if it's there and you don't need to remove it, then of course it has its benefits. So I changed that, and I attached that small, I think this is small tech lock, not medium, small one, and everything's fine. Okay, let's start the test. This is more city hunter, so more urban meaning knife. So that's why this test will be a bit different and more close to my urban area test. So some rope cutting and cardboard slicing and these things. Okay, how sharp the knife is. I must say it's really nice. This is not an original edge, I must say. I EDC the knife since I get it, simply. So I slightly touched the edge, especially I put it on it like secondary convex. So not as full as I want normally, but I will work on it. But I'd like to keep it a little bit more sharp, even it was hair shaving sharp. But I feel still the difference between if you go to straight edge, I mean from the secondary bevel, or you got a secondary convex. The convex works for me a little bit better, so that's why I put it there. It's not definitely changed, like I mean for 100%. I will do something more on it, but it is great for that one. What I want to say, important, I'd like to remind you, this is Pgk Steel, German Pgk. They said D2 steel or on steroids, so quite different experience for me. It has, I think, 62 HRC hardness, so is another thing which I don't have another knife in such hardness. So generally different feeling about this one, because as I said, I did the secondary convex on it. I didn't find something more special on the steel. I mean, to make it a little bit more convex, but as I said, I didn't touch it properly, so maybe it's something goes like that. And also the hardness of the steel also wasn't that big problem, that big issue. So I don't know, maybe after I will do something, I'll tell you later. Then maybe I find what's the problem. But the Pgk steel should be very tough and very good for edge holding. So we'll see. Let's start the test. About some rope cutting. Yesterday I received a package, so I will use the cardboard for it, but it was packed or covered by these plastic lashings, I would say. So normally I try to cut through some kind of paracord or something like this one, but in the urban area you can really find these, because when you open some package, and of course I believe this is hard, this is simply plastic, this is man-made material, and this could be more tough to cut through. So we'll see. So this is one, no problems. It is sealed here, so double, no problems. Okay, triple. Sorry guys for interrupting. So that was 3, now I got 6 of them. So this is, as you can see, this is really, or it should be really tough to cut through, but it is not. It's not. Okay. I got belt. I bought especially for this one this kind of belt. Okay, I'll use it this way. Easy. Okay, one more. No problem. So, and double. This is slightly over 4 inches blade, guys. So definitely for these, I guess this is maximum to cut through with the one slice, I would say, because I felt when I did the last, it really, it goes off somewhere where the belly is. So if there will be more layers, it's simply I need to more of edge. And as I said, this is kind of short. Anyway, I got these 4, so I try this one. There is 4, so we'll see how this one. As I said, so because I concentrated to keep the edge on it, so this is the first one, nearly off. The second, very close. The third, you see there's 6 millimeters, 7 millimeters on it, and this one has even more. There is 1 centimeter or it. So as I said, as you can see, probably the 3, I could probably slice 3 of them in once, but it's kind of, let's say, border, or I would say a limit. It limit of the knife. So for this one, it's very nice. Just touch. It's very grubby still. Okay, just the tip. I use really no much power, just one. So as you can see, the tip is very fine, which could be plus for someone, and for somebody as I am, it's kind of not plus. Okay, so the penetration of the tip, I do it very slightly, guys. Just don't use really power. Now I do. Okay. Go across. So as you can see, it's because this is rounded, so maybe there is the problem, and we can see these pieces of the cardboard on it. So it left the edge. easy. Just how easy it was. You can see. You see my not really much power, and you see the tip on it. Hey guys, I would say it slices nice. I'll check it. This is the same size. Yes, this is the same thickness of the material. So, no problems. With a pinky, if I want to go through something like this one, just this one. It's nice. Of course, I follow the ribs. This one was across, as you can see, just same like this one. Again, I need to use some power, but I still do this. That's it. And I'm through. Just how sharp the knife is, and I still feel the sharpness on it. Anyway, it's sometimes happen because some knives got this one from the belly. It's curved to the very tip. Not this one. See that it's rounded, and now it's just straight. I found this one on firstly on my zero tolerance 0100, the fixed blade, made of CPM 3V. There's a belly and just straight to the tip. I didn't see it before, and it's really very effective. It was the Ken Onion design. He's got it on some another knives on the folder zero tolerance 0200, and Tops added this kind of edge on these Tops UTE. All the models actually, but we got UTE2. I show you here. See that it's rounded, rounded, and now it's straight to the tip. Same as this one, straight to the rounded to the edge, and now straight to the tip. And it helps when you slice. So normally, if there will be curvature, the blade will go off simply the surface. We're cutting faster. Why? Because it's rounded. But because this is straight, the edge holds there and keep the angle. It's like, you know, I didn't see it on many knives. As I said, firstly on the zero tolerance or 100. Then I see it on this one and on this one, this knife, and it's really great. Some designs has something to, you know, they add something. We got a recurve, we got the tanto shape, we got a traditional, but with the yokote tip pronounced. We got the edge with goes forward, then straight, then that, and everything added some functions to the knife or tool actually. And this is some of that which as I said, I didn't see them many before. Same as where I had the folder. How I left it on the table already. Like the zero tolerance 620, you know. It's tanto, but it's something between standard tanto, I mean the traditional rounded, and the US American tanto, which is a straight the tip. It has a slight belly on it, you know, on the folder. These details really add something. It's something between this and the modern or American tanto. It's great. I guess this is very, I would say, genius design for that. If you want something that penetrates something, which on such kind of knives could be alright, maybe you need that. But also when I used the UTE knife, and I did many cuts when I went on the roof to rebuild somewhere there, so I need to cut it something, and it was hidden under, let's say, under surface, and with some wide blade I couldn't go there and especially do any cuts, because the whole blade will fill the space there. But with this pronounced tip and this one, I can do this motion, and it simply let me cut something what I will do hardly with some another knife shape, or I can't do it, you know. And these two knives and the tanto has the similarity. That's why I like them. Okay, and but this one is slightly longer compared to this one, so that's why I EDC this one now. But anyway, carry on with some food prep. So you won't see me, guys, but you'll see some of the thing I mean, where the knife, we can see what the knife can do with the food. That's what I want to say. So with a normal slice of our kind of bread, you see it's all, sorry about the shaking, because the camera is on the same table, so I have to penetrate with the tip as normally I do, and then not standard kind of bread, let's say like in the UK. So these kind of slices are all right, not the best definitely, but I think better than many of my other knives. And it's generally done, or the problem is because the relatively high secondary bevel, that's why I did the partial convex only, the secondary convex. If we got some standard kitchen knife, there's absolutely, you know, the secondary bevel is in half, I believe, so that's why it's gonna happen. So okay, some tomato slicing. I nearly do not push, just do the movements and keeping the edge do that for me. So here we can see it's simply not a chef's knife, but I can do that probably. I'll try this one. Just not see the resistance of it. Okay, it's interesting for me. With the tip, if I help myself with the tip, I penetrate the let's say skin of that. I can do that. But as you can see here, I need to, when this one, I need to really push into it now because it's springing, so I need to get the angle, and because the white secondary bevel for it makes trouble. So it's from our garden, so very tasty, guys. Moment. Well, as you can see, I cleaned this board and eat the great tomato, and now I got this apple from our orchard too. So let's find out. I'm wondering by myself. Again, the table is shaking. You can feel some kind of resistance. This apple is kind of hard, so I do it carefully because I don't want the camera shake. So that's why I do it in this way. Okay, I'll try to cut it in half now. Sorry guys. So definitely not the best knife for this task. I guess, or I believe that for let's say meat preparing, it will be slightly better, because you know it's simply, I don't know, for these things many knives doesn't work properly, or do not work properly, sorry. But definitely when you, or if you want, just do these. So you can see it's definitely not bad, not bad. 3.4 millimeters is normally under my level of thickness in my blades, but for such a knife, urban area, you know, and for eventually if you go outside, you're looking for all around camp knife. I mean, for some food prep, some carving, but it's definitely not a chopper or something like that. But we will see what this knife can do in some outdoor activities. So let's carry on in the test and final conclusion, of course, after that. So here we are outside, and let's do some outdoor test. As you can see that 50 centimeters beech and hornbeam wood prepared for winter. So there was lots of work, but now something more easy. So this is Plum Tree dried, I believe, from last year. So compared to the knife size, let's start. Oh, before that, I'll forget if this one can make a sparks. I say no, because the spine is really rounded. Okay, so it can do something, but it's really, as you can see, it's weak for that. So this is definitely not great. I've tried that already, and I've tried also where the kind of swedge is, but it doesn't work. So if I want to have this one to make a spark, I have to prepare some space or place for it somewhere here to make one of the side a bit sharper. But otherwise it could be, and probably I will do something with that. Anyway, I will modify it, let you know. Let's go. I found this one as batoning stick. As you know, as you might know, the Plum Tree is not the softest, absolutely not. So we'll see. I hope the knife could survive this. Nothing. Okay, so that wasn't any problem for that. I was slightly worried because I don't work with such thin blades, for me thin normally, so we'll see. But the handle doesn't lose, no chance they stick it on 3 points, so it shouldn't be, but never know. So as I said, the Plum Tree, see, it's twisted, some knots on it, so it could be hard. So let's find. That was a nut tree, or nut from the tree. So as you can see here, how hard it could be. I mean, the plum tree. It's really, when it's dried, it could destroy your knife, I mean break. When you try to split the logs made of that, if you need it with an axe, you can break your handle if it's wooden and old and something like this one. So it's a hard wood. I've got another one prepared for that. Hear that? It's definitely not something soft. We'll try and find out some kindlings on hardwood, and as I said, this is definitely not the best wood for it. It's very hard, guys, for it. It's hard to keep those kindlings on the wood, because when you see how this one shakes, but for such a hard wood, this is absolutely good. Excellent, excellent. As usual, I slightly feel, you can see it on my index here, the guard, but it's all right. There's no problem on it. If I got glove on the hand, so that will be no problems. Absolutely. This should be old, I believe, pine wood. As you can see, I tried when I sharpen my knife. Sometimes I took some kind of that wood and do that one. See that? That's a softwood, so you can see different between the hardwood and softwood. Wow. Sorry guys, so I finished that kindlings. The camera goes off, that's why it's that like that. So I show you this one, what I did after that. So this is absolutely great for this softwood slicing, and it's really comfy. But what I'm worried about is the very fine tip. Maybe you see that. I did it because I thought the camera is still running. I drilled this kind of hole to this board. I guess this is spruce, dried spruce, prepared for some work, as you can see. I don't know how you call it in English, but the tip, that could be a problem. I don't want to do something like this one because it will break definitely. It's too fine. If I do drills, yeah, it works. You can see it twice. It works somehow, but still the tip is question for me. Wait a moment. Yesterday I took off this one from my apricot tree, so just for you to see how this one sliced the soft materials or kind of the limbing for outdoor use. As you can see, it's absolutely it's very light, so you can see it thanks to the handle shape, but absolutely not for chopping. But definitely not made for it. But what I can try is this one. Never did it on an apricot tree, but why not? The tip is still there, which is good. I need to work carefully here. I don't want to cut myself. This is the thing. Just like that. Okay, so you can do some kind of notches like this one, so it works in that way. That's what I do normally. Yeah, you can do these things if you like to. As you can see, it works nicely for kind of bushcrafty things if we have to do it. Okay, I'll finish with this one. I think I did everything what I do normally on tests, and now we go back to my room and do some final conclusions, because I have to say something about this one. So here we are after all these tests, back in my room. So what I want to say generally for the knife, I'm happy for the knife. That's what I want to say. I'm glad I bought it. I'm very satisfied with it. As I said, is the knife, when you grab it in your hand, then you feel it immediately. I've got two things to say, negative things to say. One is the very fine tip, as I mentioned a couple of times. And probably I will change a little bit the blade shape, so I will make it shorter to go more to the more thickness. So that's what I always do. Something I modify my knives, because I want to sell them, I want to use them. So, and because it's generally urban EDC for me, so this 5 millimeters, what I counted, it will be just like that. So there's no huge difference in blade length, of course. Slightly better to carry it, and light it will be, not lighter, of course, but you know, I have no other problems with it. The problem could be only if the Pgk steel is more tougher than I expect. Then we'll see, but I let you definitely know. That's the tip, first thing. The second thing is that they're kind of standard sheet from the position where you say, okay, I got a sheath which I can immediately use, which not really happen, especially if I'm the Kydex guy and there is a leather sheath or some other materials to a knife, then I usually change it. But this is the sheath I can use it, and I'm using it now, as you can see. But generally, I use it immediately. I just swapped this attaching equipment, I say, or I will say that anyway, and I use it. So the clicks and everything just still not really rather on it. But the problem is it's too wide. You see that there is lots of space all around. If this one should be urban knife, as City Hunter, it probably should be. Why such a huge sheath? For what? It's light. The knife is light. It's relatively compact and even slim in profile. So if you see this, I'll put it this way. So generally the sheath is twice wide as the knife itself or blade. Why? So I probably will do the sheath for myself again, as I normally do, which will be more compact, and because the blade will be, as I said after that, will be slightly shorter, simply it will be more compact, so more ready without I take less of performance, just 5%, I don't know, just, you know, something really slightly, and I would say I improve the toughness of the tip, and I will make the knife more compact, because and more carryable, I would say, for concealed carry, because the new sheath, that was the I would say negative thing. I would say if you compare just where I can put the knife, I got two friends to the knife. One is the Mini Aurora Bark River, which has very close blade length, generally same thickness, CPM 3V. This is about 100 grams, this is 150 grams about, so of course you can see the difference, but I can buy these two nearly than one this. So, you know, for bushcrafty, this is, I would say, this is specialty bushcraft knife. This is urban, and what's important, I got this one which has same size, the Hest 4 DPX. And these knives are really what they said. So bushcrafty, more surviving tool, and this is urban all around. So where is this knife? Is exactly in the middle of these, if you see where to put the knife. It can do bushcrafty task, it can do some fighting task, self-defense, it can do some surviving task, but not as good as each of those, I mean, for the special thickness. So this is too thin for surviving things, and the secondary bevel isn't good, as this one is kind of convex all the way down, so it's much more slicey, even the same thickness. But in the other hand, this one is wider, so it can stand more, because the full thickness is on the full knife, I would say. What I do like on this knife, if I say all these, the blade, sorry guys, I just try if this one shaves my, yes, it shaves me. I don't know if you would see that, but yes, it shaves, still shaves after all these slicing, after on the plastic and cardboards. Okay, for me, absolutely good. What I do like, as I said, the handle shape, guys. The handle shape is really good. You see, okay, I don't want to have a fighting knife, so why shall I do this grip? But it's natural. And when you go this one, when you do your, let's say, bushcrafty stuff, or even in the kitchen, this one allows me to go more deep, so it's kind of like rounded, so it bites more into the material. That's what I like. It's really great. And if I want to stick a little bit back to what I said about the tips when I've spoken, you know, we got kind of spear tip, as I said, on this knife, Mini Aurora. We got the drop point and DPX heft, but these are kind of, you know, this one is more tippy, the Aurora. This one is more rounded, more belly knife. But I've spoken about that one. So this is the zero tolerance. As you can see, we got the modified thumb toe tip. So I got a kind of the American thumb toe. So generally it should be straight, but this one has slight belly on it, and it's great. And I love the knife for it. And I think it's only one I've seen with this. And you know what I said about the zero tolerance. So this is the one. This is the zero tolerance 100. See that? You see that nice belly from the recurve, and now it goes. It's straight, guys. This is straight. And when I do slushies, when I try to do some kind of martial applications, and when you do the slushies with this, it really goes through. When it bites here, it won't leave the material too fast. It simply bites deep because there is no the belly carry on, which allows the something you cut into goes off that easy. This one, it goes there still like kind of like a claw, but there is no of course the recurve, the back to claw, but it's somewhere in the middle. So this one was the knife where I seen this kind of shape for the very first time, and I was very surprised how effective when you do the slushies or chops like this one, how effective it is when you use it for the materials. When I did, let's say, some light chopping with this, or I mean to the wood or something like that, it was really great. Then I saw it on this knife. I showed it before, so we got it here, and the last time we got it here. This is straight also, and it really works on all these. Here we can see it's more pronounced because thanks to the belly, because the belly gives us the distance from the point to here. So this is much more longer because this is too wide, so the belly allows us go more further than this one. There's just a little belly and slightly bigger is here. But this is a really great, I would say, genius design for the tips. I must say, I like these kind of tips because they are so effective. They're so effective. You know, you got this kind of spear point, which is great if you need to you penetrate something simply, or you want to drill something because you got a kind of triangle shape. But this is too thin also. Even a CPM 3V, it could break. I've seen it many times. So I guess this one is much more, even 1095, so it should be on different side of the high qualityness CPM 3V 1095, but this is too thick for it. This is 5 mils, this is 3.3, even the shapes. Generally, if I want to drill something, I take all out of these, I take this one because it's thick blade, and as you can see, the thickness goes down just slightly. I was for the knife, for the size, and the tip itself is still kind of supported from the back. This is really kind of thick tip, not like this one, and definitely not like this one. So that's what I said. Even here you can see it, but he is finer, but more fine. So this is something also 4.8 millimeter general thickness, but because the thick generally the overall length, overall shape of the tip is of course more sturdy. I want to go to something. This one will be much better. But what I want to say, if there will be knife with you are looking for, I mean, I would say, okay, I want to come kind of general use, and I want to also think to use it in self-defense, or maybe I do some knife fighting, you know, because I like it. I mean, for training and these things. This is for me one from the best I've seen. The kind of end of the blade, I would say, out of all those tips. If you want to have something what allows you to slash or do slashes and stabs or penetrations too, this is absolutely great. So I like it on this knife. So about this knife, sorry, I'm too long, but it is a really good knife. I can recommend it, especially for the money. For the money and material used on it, it's really hard to beat it, you know, because Pgk is, as I said, kind of high mid, or maybe even higher. With good sheath, you can carry, as I said, you can use it immediately. You don't need to change anything. Great edge retention, great holding, even and still small, compact, thin, relatively thin profile, light, 157 grams. I say how many, six ounces about the knife only. It's a really great choice, and I'm happy if I say all but two things: too wide sheath for urban carry, and the tip. It's could be probably broken, I believe so. Anyway, thank you very much. Have a nice time. Bye.